All right, folks. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another live stream for the channel. Big old update. Yeah, we weren't available to do it last weekend because, of course, 4th of July celebrations, family get-togethers, all that good stuff. I'm your host, Raging Anybody. I'm, of course, here with the lovely Jamie. Say hello.
Hi.
And we're gonna get right into it. So, uh, I'm gonna normally I would talk about all the movies coming out this month, but there's a few since we're starting a little bit late. There's already a couple that came out. For example, Jurassic World Rebirth, which we have a review and full breakdown out on the channel, so check that one out. And then Superman, which that review will be coming out on Wednesday, and the full breakdown will be out on the following Friday. However, coming up, the next film on the list would be I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot of the, I wouldn't say hotly anticipated or highly enjoyed franchise. I think only the first one people actually give a shit about. The second one had a Jamaican Jack Black, and the third one went straight to DVDs. So, but this film comes out on the 18th. So, and the premise is when five friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. 1 year later, the past comes back to haunt them as they learn someone knows what they did last summer. Stalked by a mysterious killer, they soon seek help from two survivors of the legendary Southport massacre of 1997. So it's literally the same plot of the
It
first
is.
one. They even bring back the original characters to talk about the same plot, and then with new faces, I guess. What are you excited for this, Jamie?
I'm excited just to see how much they mess it up because you got to figure the 1997 version was just a classic. Like everybody watched it, but I don't agree that everybody liked it. But still, you're bringing back Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. to be like these survivors and they can do their own thing. But I don't know.
Now,
I'm excited for a disappointment in a little bit.
now I don't remember much of the second one, but was it Freddie Prince Jr. also one of the killers? I thought he turned out to be one of the killers too, or working with the killer.
I think he was working with them, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen the second one in forever.
Yeah, me neither. I plan on watching them all three of them, before I go see the movie on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever I go see it. Because I will be doing a breakdown and review for that one as well. But oof, I don't really remember much from it except for that Sarah Michelle Gellar does the dumbest thing ever. She doesn't run all the way into the street. She stops and turns around and then gets killed right before she reaches the crowd in the first one. I remember that part because that's like the worst character death ever made. But yeah, personally, I agree with you. I think this is one of those. I think it's gonna be okay. I don't think it's gonna be great, but it's gonna be like Scream 5. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna have
Yeah.
some hopefully some bloody kills, you know, and but the plot is gonna be generic, and the killer is gonna be like, you know, whatever, the surprise twist. It's one of the group all along, or the father of somebody, you know, and then there, that's it, right? Maybe even the town sheriff, you know, who knows. But you know it's going to be cliche. It's not going to be anything mind blowing, and um, yeah. So we'll see. But judging from the trailer, the first trailer, the at least the first kill, that one where the guy gets shot with the harpoon gun or whatever, that looked kind of
Yeah.
cool. I was like, okay, well maybe at least it'll be bloody, right? So we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Moving on to the next one is The Old Guard 2, which is already out on Netflix. If you haven't seen the first one, I think it was a bunch of immortals who were fighting another
Yes.
immortal or something. You know the plot? You can say it.
Oh, the other plot was that they had to it's basically you're saving the world against a bad man.
Okay. So standard superhero stuff. All right. Well,
Yeah.
the Old Guard 2, Andy learns immortal warriors against a powerful enemy threatening their group. They grapple with the resurfacing of a long lost immortal, complicating their mission to safeguard humanity. So, very vague, but it sounds like it's the same plot as the first one, except a new immortal has appeared, you know?
That's pretty much all they are. Is one dies, the next comes out.
Did you like the
New way to
first one?
defeat him. It was pretty good. It was a good watch.
Yeah? I know Charlize Theron is in it. I don't know who else is in it.
In the first one,
Yeah. Are there any big names?
just I think there was a few. Let me just double check.
Yeah, we got Kiki Lane, Veronica Engao, Harry Melling, Luca Mar. I don't know any of these people. Well, I
Yeah.
know Chiwetel Ejiofor. I know him. Yeah, I don't know any of these other people.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
Very standard Netflix cast. What about the Old
Yes.
Guard 2? How about Old Guard 2? Let's see who's in this one. Well, Uma Thurman is joining the cast. So I'm gonna assume that she's the long lost immortal, since she's the only big new name joining the cast. She's probably the long lost immortal. Makes sense. I did hear that the new Old Guard is supposed to be a lot like Kill Bill.
That's kind of the vibes that I'm getting out of like reading about the plot more.
You know?
Yeah, so
You're excited to see it?
yes.
It is currently out on Netflix.
Yes, I just haven't had time.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the first one, so I still have to go check out the first one. To be honest, I see a lot of trailers for Netflix movies, and I've skipped most of them because the last few that I saw, which would have been a few years ago, were like Red Notice and Red this and Red whatever, Red Santa, whatever was the last one that I watched. Red One, maybe, or whatever. The one with The Rock. And they
I think
were
that
all
was Red One.
Yeah, and they were all the same movie, basically.
Different characters.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, yeah, if I'm bored enough, I have tons of other stuff I have to see, so.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, so if you want to check out the Old Guard 2, it is out on Netflix currently right now. Next up on the list, this one is actually kind of cool. This one you can find on Max or on Prime right now. It's called Aztec Batman Clash of Empires. If you're a fan of the DC animated films, this is part of their new 52 universe, and it's basically takes place after the whole Darkseid thing where Batman got zapped by the I-beams and got his ass sent back into time, right? And so now he's in the ancient times fighting the Bat God and all that stuff like that. So if you're the premise here says the father of whatever his name is, Yohali Coatl, a young Aztec boy, is murdered by Spanish conquistadors. As an adult, Coatl is a priest in the court of King Montezuma II and works with his fellow clerics in the temple of Sinacan
Something.
to
I don't
develop
know.
weaponry and equipment to face the Spanish invaders using the masked persona of the Batman. So yeah, it's Batman back in the day. You know what I mean? Like back before whatever. So his gadgets are gonna be like pulleys and like really basic engines and stuff, or engineering stuff. Think Assassin's Creed, where you got the Leonardo da Vinci and technology stuff. You know what I mean? Gliders and stuff for his wings and all that cool stuff. But it is a cool looking little animated feature. I haven't checked it out yet myself, but I've very rarely been disappointed by a DC animated feature. Most of them are always fun and creative, and so I definitely recommend checking out. I think last month we got a sequel to Batman Ninja, so Batman Ninja 2, and that was actually really good. It was fun if you're into like anime, well, it's Batman the anime. You know, what else can I say? You know what I mean? He's fighting ninjas. It's dope, right? We're a ninja channel here, right? We love ninjas. But
Yes, we do.
it came out on July 3rd, and it is available, I believe, on Max and
Yes,
Prime. I think on Prime you have to purchase it though. So
you do. But it's
uh,
free on Max.
yep. So next up is Happy Gilmore 2. I believe this is also coming to Netflix on July 25th. You said you were excited for this. Why don't you tell the audience
Yeah.
about it? You can read the plot synopsis too. Go ahead.
Plot is basically 30 years after winning his first tour championship, retired golfer Happy Gilmore returns to the sport to pay for his daughter Vienna's ballet school. Was it Vienna?
Yep.
Yeah, Vienna. Yeah. So
And they're bringing
before
back
he was trying to pay for his grandma's house.
right.
Now he's paying for the ballet school.
It looks like
But
Shooter
Adam
McGavin is
Sandler,
back too.
he is. Nobody else could ever play his character. Adam Sandler, of course, reprises his role. Julia Bowen, Ben Stiller is in there. Yeah.
I heard a rumor that Don Trump Jr. is in this film as well, makes an appearance. I don't know
That's what I've been trying to find, but I haven't been seeing anything about
I
that.
don't know
much.
in what capacity. It might even just be a small joke, or it might even just be a poster of him, you know, or something. I have a feeling that he's gonna make fun of that club that he started, right? You know, that exclusive membership club thing, right? That people can join to meet, you know, President Trump and all that other stuff, right? And I think that Happy Gilmore is gonna, like, Shooter McGavin's gonna be part of that club. and Happy Gilmore's gonna be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give a shit.
But we
about
also know Adam Sandler's stance on a lot of things, so
right.
he's not very quiet.
Right. Well, and I mean, his whole character in the first one was anti-elitist, right? He was.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, so. But I mean, I saw the rumors that he was going to be in the movie, so I was just like, I wonder in what capacity he'll be in there. You know, if he's going to show up. Maybe he sponsors the tournament. I don't know, because I don't think they're not bring. Are they bringing in any other golfers again?
Oh, they are bringing in tons of them. Leo Trevino, who also appeared in the first film, will be in this one again. Keegan Bradley, Bryson DeChambeau, something. John Daly, Tony Finau. Yeah, there's
The only
plenty of them.
The only golfer I know is Tiger Woods.
That's only because he made mainstream media.
Pretty much. I mean, if they bring him in, that'd be interesting.
I don't think he ever would.
I think he's out of the spotlight for the last decade or so after everything that went down.
Yeah, true.
But it's coming to Netflix, right? It's a Netflix production, isn't it? Is it coming to theaters as well, or?
I don't think so. I think it's only Netflix.
There's no plans for me to do a review on this one unless somebody else wants to do it. I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan. Let's put it that way. I like his more.
We got a lot of cameos too.
Do you? Okay, go for it.
So Eminem.
Okay.
Praise Eminem. He will be there.
Did a proposal, right, to his whatever. He's got a fiance now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on the news.
Post Malone will be there, in it. Travis Kelce.
Okay, he's a country singer, right?
Travis Kelce? He's the Chiefs football.
Oh, I don't know who he is.
He's dating Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's right. Okay, he's that meathead. Okay, I got it.
Yes, he is meathead, but he's good. He's good people too. So
he sounds like a country singer
though. Don't worry, I said the same thing when I first heard his name.
I mean, he is marrying one. I guess it makes sense. So.
Well, technically, she's not country anymore.
She's a country pop. She's like Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is also country pop now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I will do this one. I will do this one.
Be my guest. But it comes out on July 25th on Netflix. So if you're a huge fan, make sure you go check that out. All right, moving along, we've got Bambi the Reckoning. It's brought to you by the same people who made Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 1 and 2. Obviously, this is also a horror film inspired by Disney properties, right? Which after they all went up, the rights were released, to the public. A lot of these studios snatched them up for whenever they could, and they're trying to do something with it. Now, I applaud some of them. Like, some of them could, like, let's be honest. If somebody did a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in a horror thing with all the dwarves being like goblins instead of dwarves, right? And they kidnap this girl in the woods and try to, like, I don't know, use her as a slave or something. Like, that would be terrifying and creepy, and if it's done well, could be interesting, But
If you were to take, even if you were to take the original fairy tales.
Yeah, most of them are actually horrifying in their original form.
Well, fairy tales weren't for kids.
Right. Like The Little Mermaid, if you read the original, it's pretty terrifying. She cuts off her legs. Right? But regardless, what they did with Winnie the Pooh,
that was horrible.
It was an interesting idea, but it was a horrible film, But the premise for Bambi the Reckoning here is after a mother and son get in a car wreck, they soon become hunted by Bambi, a mutated deer. The grief-stricken creature embarks on a rampage seeking revenge for the death of his mother. Now, this, if you haven't seen it, this is the plot for Death of a Unicorn. Basically, Paul Rudd and his daughter hit a unicorn and the mother becomes pissed, or the lover. I don't really know if it's the mother or the lover, right? The mate, I should say. But whatever, it becomes pissed and starts hunting them, also because they keep snorting its horn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They added that too. But it is exactly the same kind of plot.
But it looks so bad. It's like one of those, it looks so bad, it must be good kind of things.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've seen movies, I've seen worse, I've seen like Mega Piranha and stuff. So
touche.
This is definitely one of those late night creature feature type films, If the effects are if the effects are decent and the bloody scenes are fun to watch, the plot really doesn't matter why it's hunting them. All we really care about is watching people get killed by a deer, right? Or a mutant deer in this case,
Mutant deer.
But from the trailer, I'm personally just I'm gonna skip this one. If we ever did a thing about like 10 worst horror movies or something, and this movie ends up on it, I'm gonna make Steve watch it.
I'll be surprised.
I'm gonna make Steve watch it and make him write a thing for it, because that's what he does. He watches these terrible movies.
Yeah.
But
I tried watching some of them this week, and I got kind of mad.
Yeah, some of them out there, man. Oof. Let's see, Bambi, the Reckoning. It is coming to. Is it coming to theaters?
It's set to be released on the 25th of July.
Yeah, I see that.
I think it's going to be to theaters.
Yeah, it is actually coming to theaters. No shit. Holy. Okay, then. So, yeah, if you really want to see this movie, July 25th, it will be in theaters. Bambi the Reckoning. I don't know how it's going to do against, movies like our next one, but I guess we will find out. I mean, it's just, releasing a horror film in summer, it makes sense for I Know What You Did last summer, right? Because literally summer is in the title, right? But some of these horror movies, like the Bambi the Reckoning, from the trailers, it looks like the story takes place in the fall. I would have released this movie in like September or something, right? Or maybe even closer to October, with the Halloween season, because then people are more...
hunting season.
Yeah, exactly. It seems strange to release it now in July, but I guess they're trying to capitalize on that blockbuster thing. But I just don't think this is going to be the blockbuster. It feels like it's a bunch of dudes in a room clapping themselves on the back, like we're gonna be a sneak hit, and it's like no, no, you're not.
You're not.
I think you guys are gonna. If anything, the popularity of the movie will rely, just like Winnie the Pooh, will rely on memes. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of people haven't actually seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but they know about it because of the memes. So, but anyways, yeah. So
When the
July.
memes do better, that's saying something.
Exactly. Morbius.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, so July 25th, it will be in theaters. All right, so our next one and our last movie that we're going to talk about is Fantastic Four First Steps, which I am super hyped about, which also comes to theaters on July 25th. The plot is Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and the Thing face their most daunting challenge yet as they defend Earth from Galactus and Silver Surfer. Now, honestly, they say they're going to defend against from Silver Surfer. I think Silver Surfer is not actually a villain, but we'll see. We never know, you know. I think the reason I'm hyped for this film is not because I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. I never really cared about the first family of Marvel, but the tone of the film, it doesn't feel. It feels like the Thunderbolts, where it's kind of like good and bad. It's going to have, you know, I think that the movie's going to end on a down note. You know what I mean? That these heroes have failed, and now they have to figure out how to come back from that. You know what I mean? And that's their, which is kind of funny. It's like that's how they're entering the entering the main MCU as losers, right? But I think that's a great starting point, because too many superhero films always end the same way, right? A bad guy shows up, they lose halfway through the movie, but then they're triumphant at the end. Very rarely do they ever just like for example, Thunderbolts, they won, but not really, because they didn't defeat the Void. They just helped. Spoilers, by the way. They just helped Bob suppress it. It's still there. You know, they didn't defeat it. It's still inside him. They just helped him, for now, suppress it. And which is why at the end of the film he goes, I can't use my powers, because if I use my powers, it'll come back. You know? So he's kind of just there, you know, until they figure out what to do. So it's kind of like a shallow victory, you know? And I think that's unique, because most of the time, most superhero films, they would have just blasted him with a bunch of lasers, and he would have been like, disintegrated, and that would have been the end, and cheers for everybody. The movie kind of ended on a bittersweet victory, you know, and I think that's why it was so cool, you know. And I think the Fantastic Four, in fact, I even think that the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day next year will also end similar to that, because it's all leading up to Secret Wars, which is everything kind of has to fall apart for all the universes to clash with each other, and then and be heated about it, right? Every team out there is going to experience some kind of loss, some kind of grief, or some kind of trauma, which is going to cause them to go to war with each other. You know, I think, and yeah, that sounds like a series of depressing films, but I think it's going to be a unique story style. You know.
But then again, you have to hit rock bottom in order to race to the top.
Right. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind a feel-good movie once in a while where somebody smashes the villain and comes out. You know, the villains can't always win, but the problem is the heroes can't always win either. Sometimes it's cool to see a hero take an L, you know, and then figure out how to go from there, you know.
Yeah, and that would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, but I am hyped. I love the cast. I think the cast is great. You know, whatever people say, there's a lot of people out there right now bitching and complaining about Pedro Pascal. And I made the jokes too. He is in everything right now. But that's probably would be my only beef with him. The I can tell from online the beef with him is not that. The beef with him is his allyship. Let's put it that way. You know. And people, people Yeah. Well, what less said about that, the better. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. Um, and so, but then you have, and then the people's beef with the female Silver Surfer. Well, they should have used Norrin Rad. We had, I mean, first of all, we've had a Norrin Rad, and chances are, we got Chris Evans as Johnny Storm in Deadpool. Chances are we might still see a Lawrence Fishburne version of Silver Surfer in Secret Wars. You never know. You know what I mean? They could make a cameo
Right.
appearance of characters from the older Fantastic Four films. However, because this is an alternate reality Silver Surfer, that doesn't mean that we can't get a male version. If that's really so important, we can still get a male version in the main MCU. Who knows? When at the end of the Fantastic Four movie, if the Fantastic Four all cross over into the main MCU, maybe Shala Bal does too, and then Norrin Rad senses her, across the universe, right? Senses her power cosmic, and so he flies over to Earth, and they reunite. And he's like, "I thought you were dead," and then maybe they get we get a Silver Surfer couple. Who knows? I mean, all this you have no idea until the movie comes out what their plans are. You know what I mean? And so I feel like the fans. Some of the fans, let's put the rabid fans, are overreacting just a little bit. I'm looking forward to this movie. Like I said, I have no particular love for the Fantastic Four, but the movie looks fun. I love the retro 60s sci-fi feel to it. I love because it reminds me of books from like Philip K. Dick and all that stuff like that when they were writing future books in the 60s, what they imagined the future looked like. That's what this movie looks like, the Jetsons
Well, and I also
and shit.
kind of am curious if they took the concept from the 1997 version that was
The
unreleased.
94 version.
Yes, the 94, my bad.
Yeah, the Corman
But
version.
if they took pieces of that and added it into this one, and then pieces of the 2015 one, added it in.
Could be. I think. Well, I know that most of it is based on the. What's his name? Jonathan. Not Brandis. Jonathan. It starts with a B. He wrote the Fantastic Four, like a big series with about Franklin Richards and becoming like super multiversally powerful and stuff like that. Jonathan Hickman. His run on the Fantastic Four, I believe that's what they're basing this on, the movie, his storylines and stuff like that, because it's been spoiled essentially that Franklin Richards will be born during this film. And for those of you out there who don't know, Franklin Richards is the most powerful character in Marvel Comics, just below the One Above All. Franklin Richards can literally warp all reality, time, whatever, to his will. He can do what, like, he is a god. He is essentially God in a human body, right? And he, I mean, like, when he's a kid in his bed, he creates a universe in the palm of his hand. Let's put it that way. Like, just for fun, just to see if he could do it. You know what I mean? And he's like 6 when he does this,
Yeah.
He brings all his, like, he has his little imaginary characters in his head, and he goes and he creates it in his hand, which is nuts. You know what I mean? But regardless of that, he's going to be born in this film. And a lot of people are theorizing that's why Galactus is here. Galactus is drawn to that power, to that energy that's being given off from his birth, right? And Galactus, his purpose in the universe is to create balance. He needs to consume energy, and when one place has too much energy and it's taking, because all matter in the universe is finite, right? When there's too much energy on one side, that means there's not enough going around over here on this side, right? So he needs to consume it and redisperse it, essentially, right? And so when Franklin Richards is being born, he's like when Thanos used the Infinity Gauntlet, right? A massive energy signature, right? And Galactus is like, well, holy shit, I gotta go over there and see what's going on, right? And I gotta eat that shit, and I gotta spit it out and spread it out, right? Reseed the universe type of thing. Now, that's not to be confused with what the Celestials do. The Celestials have their own thing going on, and Galactus is not a Celestial. But according to the IMDb page, Galactus is being called a god rather than a cosmic entity. So I guess he will be part of that pantheon. Even though in the comics he's just a cosmic entity. He's actually just a person. Yeah. In the real backstory of Galactus is he was a guy named Galen from one of the first universes ever. Like, you know, like Big Bang happened, and the first time the universe was born, he existed, and well, his universe was collapsing in the center, and so he made a deal with the gods and they gave him the power cosmic, essentially, which would allow him to live through the ending of his universe in exchange for him doing what he does, right? And stuff like that. But now he regrets it because he's, you know, been responsible for countless deaths. Like, he doesn't enjoy going around eating planets and killing things and stuff like that. It is a necessity. It is what he has to do. But that's why he hired the Silver Surfer, essentially, to go send them ahead to warn the people, hey, leave your planet. I'm about to show up and eat it, you know, type of shit, right? And yeah, so Galactus is and isn't a villain, but, you know, we'll see how they do it in the nice. We'll see how it's done in the movies. But again, it comes out on July 25th, and we will be doing a full review and breakdown on the channel as well, so make sure you check that out. Moving on, now we're into series. We'll cover these a little bit quicker. First off is The Sandman's Season 2. Volume 1 has already released on Netflix, and Volume 2 comes out on July 24th. If you haven't seen the first season, basically there's the Sandman, or aka Dream, is kind of sick of of the bullshit amongst the other I don't know what to call them. I'll call them entities. You know, they're aspects of human, right? You have like dream, you have sadness, you have, you know, all the aspects of human emotions and things, right? Well, he gets kind of sick of the rules, and then he gets captured by somebody who wants to like rule over that plane of existence, and then so he breaks out, and then he's trying to find himself and blah blah blah, right? Season 2 of The Sandman is adapting the Season of Mists and Brief Lives storylines, which will see Dream dealing with the aftermath of Lucifer abdicating hell. So Lucifer has given up his throne because he too is sick of all the bureaucracy and whatever going on, right? He's like, you know, why am I stuck here doing this shit? Why doesn't God just send another angel or somebody else, right? So he leaves, and so Dream has the key now and is facing the consequences of his past actions. He must rebuild his realm, reconcile with friends and foes, and confront his own arrogance and emotions. The season will explore new locations like the underworld, fairy courts, ancient Greece, while also introducing new characters like Orpheus, Loki, and Odin, right? So we're hitting all the mythologies, right?
Be interesting.
Yeah, I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen the new season yet. I'm waiting. Honestly, I'm waiting for both parts to come out. I don't like when they're splitting the seasons up. The only show that I watched when they dropped each part was Cobra Kai, because that's one of my favorite shows, right? So I had to watch as they dropped each part. But like, for example, like Stranger Things coming out at the end of the year, right? We want to do a breakdown and review of those as well, but I'm not sure if I'm going to wait until the whole season drops or if I'm going to review each part separately, because it's so stupid. They split Stranger Things into 3 parts, right? I think the first part comes out in September, the next part comes out in November, and then the finale episode comes out in like January. What kind of shit is that? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. You know, I get it that they're trying to make sure people stay subscribed or whatever, you know, and stuff like that. But come on, you know, just drop the goddamn, sorry, excuse my language, drop the season all at once. You know what I mean? We want to binge watch that shit. You know what I mean? And whatever. No use to complain. But with the Sandman, that's why I'm waiting. to watch it is because I want to see both parts at once. I don't like having to wait in between, especially when they
No,
like
because
leave
then
off
I
on a
lose it.
cliffhanger. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You lose interest.
Right, or I forget what happened or something and have to rewatch it. I don't have to rewatch it.
Right.
Next up
Yeah, I
is
usually just forget.
right. Next up is something Jamie wants to see: Night of the Living Cat, which is coming to Crunchyroll. It already did come to Crunchyroll on July
Just the
6th.
first episode, so I'm waiting for the whole thing to
So
be dropped.
why don't you tell the audience what this is about?
So basically, at night, people start getting turned into cats. Like you're just not expecting it. It's kind of interesting.
So it's like zombies, but cats instead of zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
the
it's a
trailer. The
virus
trailer
that
looks crazy.
it's a virus that turns people into cats.
Yeah, and they're not even vicious. They're not like deadly cats. They
No,
like
they're just like house
cuddle.
cats.
Yeah, they cuddle with people and they like overwhelm them with cuteness and stuff. I saw the trailer. If you have a chance, go check out the trailer for it. It's called Night of the Living Cat, but it's spelled Nyaight of the Living Cat. The trailer
You
is
can also
bonkers.
find it as night.
Oh,
Just
you
regular
can?
Night,
Okay.
yeah.
The trailer is just bonkers. It's a bunch of people screaming like they're in a horror film, and these cute little cats come up to them and start cuddling with them. And they're like, I can't take it. Ah, and they're like dying
Yeah.
from being cuddled
It is
to
hilarious.
death. It is an anime, but it just looks over the top, looks crazy.
That's kind of what makes it.
Yeah. I showed it to Casey because Casey with the cats and stuff, and I'm like, this is probably right up your alley. This is ridiculous. But yeah, it's out on, well, you said the first episode is out on Crunchyroll. Started July 6th, so I'm guessing it's a weekly thing, every episode. I don't know how many episodes in total. Hey Daniel, what's up? I don't know how many episodes in total, but it's probably going to be a full season, usually between 10 and 16 episodes. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so definitely go check that out over on Crunchyroll. Next up, we have Dexter Resurrection, which is also started yesterday. Actually, they dropped the first 2 episodes on Paramount Plus. Recap: Dexter died in his last show, Dexter New Blood, right? At the end, he was shot by his son, right? And then left for dead in the snow. Well, I haven't watched the new series yet, so I can't tell you any spoilers, but I can tell you he's alive. According to the IMDb, he has 2 hearts. Why not? And
Just make it more interesting. He has 2 hearts.
Yeah, and he, instead of Miami or the snow, he has moved to New York, where he continues serial killing, I guess. I saw that, what's his face? Peter Dinklage is in it. He's like running some sort of like serial killer cult in there where he's gathered serial killers and they share their pictures and memorabilia in his museum or something. And Dexter is like, haha, you invited the wrong guy because now you just gave me a buffet because, we all know Dexter hunts other serial killers. So I don't know what's going to happen in there. I am curious about the show. And so far, it seems like it's been received well, at least as far as like audience scores and whatnot go. A lot of people are saying it's actually pretty good. So I don't know. I'm going to wait for a few more episodes to drop so that I can watch a few in a row. But it is currently running on Paramount Plus. What about you, Jamie? Are you a Dexter fan?
I haven't actually watched them in quite a while, so I need to rewatch it. But I am excited about this. So
did you watch the other show, the other new one, Origins or whatever it's called?
No, I didn't have time.
It's not bad. The new kid who plays Dexter on that show is actually does a pretty decent job, and so does the young actress who plays Deb. The only person I have a problem with is Christian Slater as the dad. He's not very. Yeah. He doesn't feel very hairy. I'm sorry. We need our what's his face back. But other than that, I think the Dexter the origin show isn't too bad. So they did a pretty decent job on that. Um, but yeah. Also to mention on Dexter Resurrection, Angel Baptista is back, and he is hunting after Dexter because if you remember from the New Blood, he got a phone call and he finds out that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. Dun dun
Yeah.
dun. We'll see how that goes.
That'll be
Anyways,
interesting.
next up on the list, The Institute, which is based on a Stephen King novel, comes out July 13th, so tomorrow, first episode on MGM Plus. Now, I've read the book. The book is basically this secret organization that kind of kidnaps kids who have the shine and does tests on them and are using them. Most likely because they're working for Walter O'Dim, you know, the Man in Black, whatever you want to call him, Randall Flagg, you know, for their beam cracking stuff, right? But the Institute has shown up in books like Hearts in Atlantis, In the Dark Tower itself, Firestarter, etc., 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 right? But the show looks okay. It reminds me a lot of The New Mutants, to be honest, that movie that came out a couple of years ago. What do you think,
Yeah.
Jamie? You said you were interested in this show.
I am, just because it's a Stephen King adaptation. I'm curious to see how well they do with it. And yes, I do need to read the book. But yeah, I like the whole idea of this plot where they take the kids and do their experiments
Yeah,
and
it's
people fight back.
I like the idea behind it. Like I said, I read the book and I think the book is really cool. It's very dark, right? And what they do just the now I'm going to say this because there's also a movie coming out called The Long Walk, which also deals with kids in terrifying situations. Now, Hollywood has a huge aversion to doing any kind of violence or terrible things to kids usually. Like they can't show it. They can't really relish in it. Once in a while you'll get that shocking moment like for example, Evil Dead Rise where that kid gets his arms ripped off and thrown across the hallway. Once in a while you'll get something like that. But even like the recent 28 years later, they cut away from all those kids being massacred. You know they're being massacred, but they
Right.
cut away from it. Now, in books like The Institute or even The Long Walk, which is coming out next month, you know, these kids die horrible fates in the books. And I mean, Stephen King is not the type of person to not give details, right? He
doesn't
goes
shy
full
away.
in, right? The descriptions of what happens to these poor kids. I mean, just open the book for it and read what happens to Georgie, right? It's so much more gruesome than anything you've seen on the TV or in the movies, right? But
Yeah.
with the Institute, I'm wondering if they're going to hold back. You know what I mean? If they're
They
gonna,
probably will.
it is Apple TV, and Apple TV so far has done a pretty decent job of balancing things. You know what they can and can't show, but I feel like they're gonna hold back on the violence towards these kids, and it's gonna be more. It's gonna be
Well,
less
that's like
bloody and
huge.
more you know pow punch psychic kick you know type of stuff
Yeah.
instead of ripping somebody apart Akira style. You know.
Yeah.
Daniel says Stephen King is gold, though. He's a legend in the making on the Real for Real. Yeah, I agree. I love Stephen King. I think he is definitely. I wouldn't say he's the modern day Shakespeare, but he is definitely going to be a name that people are going to remember long, long after he's gone.
Oh yeah, he has such a
He'll be up there with like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff when it comes to horror
yeah.
masters. You know, he's definitely going to be around for a long, long time.
Yes.
But yes, the Institute starts tomorrow, first episode, maybe 2 episodes, we'll see, on MGM Plus. So make sure you tune in and check that out. Next up, we have Star Trek Strange New World Season 3, which I also hear is going to be the final season. I'm not sure. Which would be sad because I actually really enjoy Strange New Worlds. Out of all the new Star Trek shows, this one is the most fun because it really goes back to that old Monster of the Week formula, and I love that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no problems with long overarching storylines and stuff like that. And for the one crowd who's always like Star Trek is woke now, it's always been woke. So I don't know what you're what you've
Gosh.
been watching beforehand, but they've always been that
Right.
way. So none of that stuff bothers me. But I miss that format where each week was a new adventure. I didn't if I missed an episode in between, it didn't matter because the next week was a different episode, right? A different storyline or whatever,
Those
which
were
was always cool.
sometimes the best kinds of shows too.
Right, I love that about like Star Trek Next Generation and stuff. That's one of the things that slowed down uh, uh,
When
Deep
streaming
Space.
came out.
Well, no, I'm saying like Deep Space Nine and Voyager. That's one of the things that bothered me most about those shows because they kind of dropped that after a while, and they kept doing these like 3 to 7 episode long arcs, And if you had to watch all of them, even if some of those episodes were then just boring. But as far as Star Trek Season 3, or Strange New World Season 3, Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 picks up directly after the Season 2 cliffhanger, featuring Captain Pike's challenge to save the Federation from a Gorn invasion, and his friend Captain Babel from a Gorn infection, while also balancing intense action with character-driven stories, including romantic entanglements and a potential new major threat. Showrunner Henry Alonso Myers teased the season with a mix of dancing, murder, and surprise. I mean, sounds awesome. Like, that's what I want from my Star Trek. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a huge Star Trek fan.
No, you're not? Okay. Well, I love my Star Trek.
I've watched the newer films, but I never really got into the shows.
Yeah, the films were great. I wish that J.J. Abrams would continue the film series, but Paramount is on some bullshit. That's what they're on.
That is the truth.
Yeah, it's definitely I don't know. I because there's not really most sci-fi television is usually in one of two forms, right? It's usually some sort of invasion of something, right? Some sort of like whether it's robots, aliens, or strange disease, and the world is ending, right? Or it's a cyberpunk dystopian show, right? Everything sucks in the future, which it does, and and now people are suffering and have to fight against whatever is trying to ruin everything, right? It's always the same kind of thing. Star Trek you still have episodes like that, like they're talking about here, an alien threat and stuff, right? But you also have an episode where they go to a wormhole where suddenly everything that they dream about comes to reality, and so now the entire cast is in Hamlet, on trapped on their ship doing dances. It's so bizarre and so strange, but it's sci-fi, and sci-fi should be like that. It should go crazy. I miss those kind of things. Even like Twilight Zone used to do random shit like that. Not everything in the Twilight Zone was horror, right? Some of it was just weird, you know what I mean? Like a strange, weird tale, which was always cool. Danielle says, Edgar Allan Poe's Star Trek is definitely going to be good on that one, yeah. Them storylines always deliver. They are classic, to be honest, though. Star Trek always delivers classic story. Yeah, I totally agree. I think they still have that, especially when they do it like this, where it's new adventure every episode. They still have that magic, They still have that science fiction pulp novel, can't wait for next week magic. A lot of the other shows, even like when Star Trek Discovery was running, I got a little bit bored because it was the one long storyline for each season. And after a while, I was like, I don't care. Just go there. Just go to the damn planet, blow them up, and move on, or something. You know what I mean? Like Picard would have put that shit into warp 7 and fixed that shit already. You know what I mean? What is taking so long? But whatever. I digress. The season 3 premieres on July 17th on Paramount Plus. So be sure to check that out if you're a Trek fan. Last up for the series is Twisted Metal Season 2. I honestly didn't believe that this show was going to get a Season 2, but here it is, Season 2, which comes out on July 31st on Peacock. Did you watch the first season?
No.
Do you even
I never even heard of it.
Oh, so do you know what Twisted Metal even is?
No.
So Twisted Metal was a game that came out way, way back on, I believe, the PlayStation 1. And it's a car racing game, but with like serial killers behind the wheel. and their cars are all like with weapons and guns and stuff, like kind of like Death Race, like that movie Death Race, right? And essentially, either you race and win, or you blow up your opponents, and if you're the last one alive, you win. There you go. That's Twisted Metal. And so that's what the show is, right? The show is like basically these random people, right? All different personalities with their crazy cars, right? The most famous is of course Sweet Tooth, a big ass massive dude in a clown mask driving an ice cream truck with rocket launchers and shit on it, right?
I've seen clips of this before.
Yeah. And so they race for a big old prize, which I think is either money or food or whatever, because it's the apocalypse. And yeah, so season 2 is more of that, I guess. Well, let's read the synopsis here. Season 2 will focus on a demolition derby tournament hosted by Calypso, where the winner gets the greatest wish granted. Yeah, so they get a wish granted. Okay. So John Doe and Quiet will participate, facing new and returning foes, including Sweet Tooth and Dollface. Dollface was one of my favorites from the game. The season will explore the consequence of Calypso's actions and delve deeper into the characters' motivations, especially Quiet's evolving perspective on Calypso. So Calypso, I believe Calypso in the games used to drive a hearse, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think Calypso drives anything in the show.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I do know that this will be the final season. Even if it gets highly rated, they pretty much announced that they're done. And that's because there's only so much you could do with Twisted Metal. I mean, I guess they could just make season after season of them doing derbies and bringing in new crazy characters crashing each other. Essentially, that's what the Fast and the Furious series is, right? New drivers every episode, and they go faster with new cars. They even went into space. So this is a side commentary here, but I got inside information of the next and final Fast and the Furious film. The people behind it, the director and so forth, they bought a DeLorean, and time travel will be featured in the film. So, yeah. So, they're going for the final Fast and the Furious film. They are hitting whatever.
Are they going back to the 1980s too?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to bring Brian back. I don't know what they're going to do. But when I heard this, I was like, you're just pulling my leg, right? You're shitting me. Like, that's not true, man, right? Like, and then he sent me pictures of it on set and stuff, and I'm like, it doesn't look quite like the Back to the Future, but it is a DeLorean, and it does have stuff attached to it, right?
Oh,
I don't want to spoil too much in case this, the studio might get pissed about this, but fucking time travel is going to be Doc Brown's car, or a version of it is going to be in the Fast and the Furious. Now, it might not be Doc Brown actually like a universe crossing. It might be like, what's his name, Tez and those other guys, right? Maybe they're building a car based on Back to the Future, right? They're building their own version of it using Back to the Future, like the movie, in their universe, as inspiration. They're like, well, he built it in a DeLorean, why can't we, right? Or some shit. Maybe that's how they're doing it, because I doubt that Doc Brown is actually showing up in the Fast and the Furious universe. I don't think that we're going to get a cameo appearance of any of those guys. But yeah, I can't believe that they're doing this. I just shake my head. I mean, but again, they went into space with a Toyota Corolla, or whatever what that was, right? So
touche.
So yeah,
it would be nice to see a DeLorean back on screen.
Yeah. Well, the last time we saw it was in Ready Player One, right? And Ready Player 2 is on the horizon, right? And I'm sure it's going to make an appearance in there.
Yeah, the DeLorean is just a beautiful car for how stupid
it is. But it is a piece of shit. Like the car ran really terribly and it was really high maintenance. It was really a piece of shit. There was a reason they discontinued it. It was,
and quickly.
as cool as it looked. It was the Cybertruck of that period of time. You know what I mean? It was a piece of garbage. But whatever. I digress. Back to Twisted Metal. The series season 2 does drop on July 31st on Peacock. And again, if you're looking for some car carnage, that's a show for you to check out. Daniel over here says, Sweet Tooth, I've seen this guy before. He looks like he was working at the store. He'd been delivering classic storylines, though. Yeah, and new drivers, oh lord, it's going to get interesting in Twisted Metal. Yeah, I agree. I think for what it is, I saw season 1. It's not great, but when it comes to the carnage and cars exploding and people dying in horrible ways, it delivers, right? And they said they went all out for season 2, and I believe them. So, and especially since this is the final season, they're like, we used up all the budget, you know. And so I hope.
And one thing to note about how it's being released, it's being released. The first 3 episodes are going to be on July 31st, and then weekly after that.
Okay, well that's good. So that means the first 3 episodes are basically going to be him and signing up for the tournament, and then the last episodes are going to be the fucking tournament, you know, because they always stretch that shit out. Again, excuse my language here. I'm trying not to swear as much, but it's not working. All right, so that's it for series. Although I will add this, coming up in August, Alien Earth is going to be coming out, and we will talk about that more on the August live stream. But I will be doing weekly review/breakdowns in a single video for that series. So if you are looking forward to Alien Earth, and make sure to check out for those. But also, if you guys would like me to do a recap of the entire Alien franchise story so far, so that you guys can all be caught up on what is and isn't canon, and that will be affecting the show, let me know, and I will look into doing that. I don't mind. So, anyway, so
that's one thing that we got to talk about. We got to talk about aliens and predators.
Yeah, because there's also Predator Badlands coming on in like next month, I think, too.
November.
Yeah, so there's quite a few things coming out, you know, all on my list. I did watch the animated one. It's not bad. It follows the book story really well, but I still don't like the animation. It looks like Clone Wars to me, and I was not a fan of that. Anyways, moving on to games. Well, first up on our list is, if you have a Switch 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming out on July 17th. A lot of people are super hyped for this game. I am not a Donkey Kong fan, but watching the game, it's really cool that it will feature both 3D and 2D platforming and all the Donkey Kong fun. We're bringing back a lot of classic characters. A lot of people are complaining about his look. I think he looks fine. He looks like Donkey Kong to me, just not angry. You know what I mean? He looks happy. Which, if I was in a land full of bananas and I was a big gorilla, I think I would be happy too, right? Would you be mad? No, there's bananas everywhere. Oh. It's nice weather, you know, and my friends are all here.
Right? Like, how can you go wrong?
Right. And he's got to be happy. The Switch 2 just came out. They need to sell consoles. If he was angry, nobody would buy it. But yeah, so if you're a big Donkey Kong fan, Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out on July 17th. Again, for the Nintendo Switch 2 only. So you need to get your hands on a Nintendo Switch 2. Which, by the way, for those of you out there who are trying to and can't find one, Amazon Prime is doing a ticket thing, right? You just send in a request for a ticket, and they'll send you one and like put you in a queue, and then you can go buy one, right? So Switch 2, don't buy from a scalper. Don't spend $700-800 or more on a Switch 2 just because you gotta have it now. Put yourself in the ticket. Pay the regular price for it, and it's a bundle. You get Switch 2 with Mario Kart for only $500. Do that.
That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, so go to Prime, Amazon Prime. I mean, whatever your feelings about Jeff Bezos is, at least that works. So do that.
Yes.
Next up is Shadow Labyrinth. This is something I'm looking forward to. Now, for some of you might know this, I've talked about this on the channel before. There was a show that came out on Amazon called Secret Level, where they did a bunch of little animated shorts based on little video games. And one of those shorts was called Pac-Man the Circle, right? And if you've seen this one, basically Pac-Man is an evil entity trapped on this planet, which kidnaps other humans, forces them to kill and eat the flesh of other creatures so that it can then absorb that from you and then become powerful enough to escape the planet, you know? You are the cherry, essentially, but you have to become juicy first. Well, that's what Shadow Labyrinth is. You get to play as one of those humans while being followed by Puck, you know, which is Pac-Man or whatever you want to call it, right? And have to learn how to become this super awesome swordsman in this 2D hack and slash style game, right? While killing tons of people, absorbing all their meat and energies and shit like that, until eventually Pac-Man joins your body, absorbs into you, whatever, and then you have to escape the realm. Sounds badass, bloody, and not very much like a Pac-Man game, but it is coming out to all consoles. So that means Switch, Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Jamie, are you a Pac-Man fan?
No.
You never played Pac-Man ever?
I did, like, back when arcades were still around.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
but
this sounds nothing like those Pac-Man games, does it?
No.
Yeah,
no, because you just had to travel around little mazes.
Yeah, this
and
one,
stay away from ghosts
they still have mazes, but the mazes look more like a platforming level now instead of just a little box with pellets. You actually have to kill things brutally with blood flying everywhere and sword combos and shit like that now.
Now, and that sounds a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's considered a Metroidvania style game, but it is definitely something new.
It's something that I would have to try.
Yeah, it's I definitely want to play it. And it's I believe it's also only going to be $20. It's really cheap too when it comes out.
That would be nice.
Right, so I probably will be getting it on Steam. And if you guys are interested in that, since I do stream on Twitch, if you guys would be interested in seeing what this game looks like before you buy it or anything like that, I could possibly be persuaded to stream it on one of my stream days. Let me know in the comments. Next up is before I go, this game releases on July 18th, as I said, on all systems. Next up on the list, though, is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, which this is right up Sarah's alley. Sadly, she's not able to join us today, but she is a huge Souls fan, and this is a Souls-like game. Essentially, the player assumes the role of Bai Wu Chang, a female pirate embarking on a journey through the war-torn and plague-stricken lands of Shu during the late Ming Dynasty. What's cool about this game is the more you die, the more you turn into this bird-like Yao Guai. Like, you lose your humanity and become this monster thing, which is crazy, but it also starts giving you new abilities. It looks beautiful. The combat is sure to be frustrating at the very least. It's going to be tough, right? But it also looks like there's a lot of options to combat and play styles.
Yeah, and it's not a beginner's game, though.
No, and the story is heavily influenced by real history, which is kind of cool. Like real history blended, of course, with mythology, right?
Yes.
I believe this is Chinese mythology.
It is. It's taking place during the Ming Dynasty.
Right. I'm looking forward to it. It's by 505 Games, which 505 Games has done quite a few of these kind of action-heavy style games in the past, you know, and they've always pretty much delivered on that. It is coming out on July 24th to the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. So sorry for you Switch owners, you don't get shit. But for the rest
how much does Nintendo actually have?
Well, the Switch 2 is capable of 4K now, apparently. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll start getting that, but they don't have a lot of third-party games coming out. I mean, the only one that I know that's Souls-like is Duskbloods, but that doesn't come out until sometime next year. So we'll
Yeah.
be talking about that when we get an actual release date. But this Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, like I said, it looks cool, looks interesting, looks colorful, all that good stuff. I definitely am going to be checking it out. I'm sure that Sarah's probably going to be picking it up. I don't know if she's going
No
to.
doubt on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to stream it or not, but we will find out. But again, July 24th on the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. And last but not least, this is a game also that Sarah and I have been talking about that we both kind of want. Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. If you've played Animal Crossing, this is that, but with hobbits instead of little cute animal people.
Bit.
Yeah, you can basically build a house and garden and all that stuff in the Shire. Like, you just do hobbit things. Grow food, cook food, invite your other hobbit friends over to eat the food and live the hobbit life.
Like, how peaceful would that be?
Yes, exactly. That's why I want to get it, because it's definitely one of those peaceful games.
I kind of want to get it.
Yeah, it's it's clearly obviously inspired by J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and blah blah blah, right? But it is a kind of mix between like this painted art style, but also cel shaded graphics. So it's very interesting looking art style. And it's coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S on July 29th. So, and it's only $30, I believe, $29.99.
Would be nice.
Yeah, so it's family friendly. So if you got kids and they want to and you want to play something with the kids, I don't know actually if it's co-op or if it has multiplayer. A lot of those games usually don't, but it could. I mean, who knows? Modern day gaming, a lot of things can put in multiplayer. And it would be kind of cool to grow a garden with somebody and stuff like that. But yeah, so if you've played games like I said, Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley or any of that stuff, that's pretty much the same mechanics in this game. I don't think there's any kind of combat or anything like that you have to worry about. I know that you'll have to put up stuff to stop like rabbits and shit from eating your crops, but that's about it. But I don't think you're going to be running around blasting them with a double barrel or anything.
It's like very peaceful, like just everyday life.
Yeah, it's very cute
in a hobbit village.
and very exactly, very hobbity. I'm looking forward to it. I definitely want to pick it up. I might even stream a little bit of that one too on my solo stream days. But again, it's coming out on July 29th, so the end of the month, for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Alrighty, Jamie, is there anything else you want to talk about today? Games, movies, channel news, anything like that?
There was something, but I totally forgot.
Oh no, you should have wrote it down.
I should have, but I didn't have a pen near me.
You
You know
have
how that goes.
a digital pen. It's called Evernote.
That's not on my phone.
Oh, well, you could install it on your phone.
I could. Charlie just said that Tales of the Shire is a single player.
All right, so single player only. Got it. Well, that's a little bit disappointing, but again, it's still worth checking into, especially for that low price. You can't really beat that. And to be honest, a lot of these more, let's say, indie games, these double A style games coming out from these smaller studios with these smaller prices are more fun than these $70 AAA studio games, because the AAA studio games pad their games with a bunch of crap, microtransactions, busy work, and stuff like that for a game that just isn't fun after a few hours. Whereas these little games, somehow keep bringing you back, every day just to play a little bit more, and stuff like that. So
it gives you a purpose to play it.
Yeah, exactly. Like currently, if you guys watch me streaming, or if you're interested in watching me streaming, On Sunday, I will be playing a game called Peak, Peak, which the entire premise of the game is you are a Boy Scout troop or Girl Scout. I guess they're mixed. You can play whatever you want. You're a scout troop that crashes on an island, and you have to climb a mountain. That's it. You got to reach the peak, and each section there's 5 sections. Each section is like a different biome, right? So you start off with a tropical biome, then you've got the jungle biome, then you've got the blizzard biome, then you've got the lava biome, and whatever else, right? And every day, so every 24 hours, the game changes the map. So the map is different every day you try to play it, right? So whatever path you found to the top on day 1, well, if you come back on Tuesday and try to play it, well, the path is different now because the map randomized, so it always keeps it fresh. Now it can play, it supports up to 4 players. However, there are mods out there which allow you to play with up to 10 players, right? So you can make it real chaotic, but you also have survival mechanics. You got to eat food and find gear along the way because you have a stamina bar and stuff. But the more stuff you carry, the faster your stamina drains because you're carrying a lot of weight and shit like that, And you got to stick together. You got to help each other, right? The whole idea behind the game is help each other climb the mountain, because if you don't, one of 2 things happens. Either you'll just all die because you get lost and fall off the mountain and whatnot, or if you go to the top by yourself, you make it to the base camp, to any of the base camps on any of the zones by yourself while your team is far away and you left them behind, the Scoutmaster shows up and he's been transformed into a giant mutant spider thing and he will eat you.
Alrighty then.
Now, he won't show up if you guys all work together and make it there because he's afraid of large groups. But if you're by yourself, he will show up and he will eat you. And that's the end of you. But it is a cute game. I played it with Jay. We already posted one of our stream replays on the channel. And we will be doing it again this Sunday. Emmy will probably be joining us. Maybe Casey. And of course, Sarah is still unavailable at the moment, but in the future, she is excited to play it, so she will be joining us then too. But I streamed that over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ragingantibody, so check that out. But of course, if you don't have time to watch it live, we repost all the replays on the channel itself, so make sure you check back for those. And feel free to leave any comments on there if there's games you would like to see us play or try out or whatever, we've been doing Repo in the past. Repo is a fun game, and there's a couple of other games that we've been looking at that we want to try out, like Schedule 1 and Headliners and whatnot. So we'll switch it up down the line, but yeah, just let us know what you would like to see. All right, is there anything else? Any last words?
I got nothing, man.
Yeah, same. I'm about to go to Andrew's house for his birthday celebration. We're going to be doing a radio play there.
Which will be fun.
But it won't actually be a live radio play. It will be a recorded one, and then we're going to stitch it together and make like a podcast radio play. I don't know if he's going to release it to the public or if he wants to. But if he does, I'm going to ask him if he wants to put it on the channel, and so maybe that will become available to you guys. Leave some comments, show some love, show that you'd love to see this, or hear it, I should say. And
or even if anybody has any other ideas on things, like what more would they like to see, what more would they like to hear about, etc.
Right. Just remember to be respectful. Don't be dicks. Right. We've had a couple of comments that I've had to remove from some of our videos where people are a little bit rude. Like, I don't care if you want to say this movie was garbage, it was the stupidest movie ever. Like, that's your opinion. That's fine, right? You can disagree with whether we like whether a movie is good or bad, or if we forgot a movie on our list or something, or whatever, or a movie shouldn't be on a list or something. That's fine. I don't care about that. But if you start attacking my hosts here and stuff and saying nasty things about them or whatever, You know, I draw the line there. Sorry, man, but that's not constructive criticism, nor is it wanted. So keep that stuff to
No.
yourself. But anything else is
Remember,
cool.
be kind. You never know what somebody else is going through.
Exactly. Right. So, but yeah, I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the love, you guys. We finally hit. What are we at now? Like
200,
2,800 subscribers. So
something like that. Yeah.
amazing. We're almost at our goal of 3,000, and then the next goal, of course,
Yay.
is 4,000, and so on and so forth. So keep up the love. Keep sharing our videos out there. We really appreciate it. You know. And yeah,
Yep.
leave some comments, leave some likes, you know, interact with us. You know, we love some feedback. So
We can
again,
only get better as soon as we
yeah,
learn what you want.
we're all movie nerds here. We're all gamers too and stuff like that. You know, if you want to talk to us about games, movies, or TV shows, you know, let's do it. Let's discuss it. You know, Steve definitely he's always ready for a breakdown of a movie or something like that. He loves to get real technical with that stuff. So, you know, go ahead and put that stuff out there.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys for checking out the live stream, especially you, Daniel. I'm gonna give you a big old shout out, Daniel Johnson, hero VIP of the hour here with the engagement here. Thank you very much for checking out the stream. Again, the next live stream will be again next month, the first Saturday of August, where we'll be talking again once again about upcoming movies, TV shows, and whatever. Yeah, check back on next Wednesday will be the Superman review, and then of course next Friday is the breakdown. Then the Wednesday after that, and Friday after that will be for I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then you know the following week after that will be Fantastic Four, so on and so forth. For this month, I have a bunch of movies and breakdowns and stuff planned for the next month as well. I will post a schedule in the community tab, so if you guys want to make sure you know there's certain videos you're looking forward to, you know, that way you guys can know what days that will be coming out. And yeah, I've been your host, Raging Anybody, and of course, Jamie has joined me here. Say hello, say goodbye, actually.
Hi and bye.
And we will catch you guys on the next one. All right, guys. Peace.
Bye.